Ameen Maulana wa Sayyidina Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala alihi tayyibin at-tahirin la siyama baqiyatillahi fil ard Maulana Hujjat ibn al-Hasan ajjalallahu ta'ala farajahu al-sharif Allahumma salli ala ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين أما بعد فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم هو الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون صلوا على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على محمد Respected elders, brothers and sisters, tonight we are celebrating two things. One is Mi'raj and one is what we call Roze Be'sat or Mab'as. Both of these are correct. Be'sat or Mab'as. Generally in our community, we tend to concentrate on the event of Mi'raj. However, this is something which has happened multiple times in the Holy Prophet's life. It's not only one Mi'raj, although yes, fair enough. Tonight we do mark one of the Mi'rajes, but this has actually happened multiple times in the Holy Prophet's life. There was not only one Mi'raj, there were multiple Mi'rajes of the Holy Prophet. What the scholars say is that far more significant than the Mi'raj is the single event, the singular event, of the day of Bi'sat of the Prophet. Now what is Bi'sat or Mab'as? Mab'as is basically the day, 27th of Rajab, where according to our history, Shia history, we believe that is the day that the Holy Prophet was told to now go and openly declare your prophethood and call people to Islam. So up until that point, the Holy Prophet was not openly declaring that he is the Prophet of God. Now it is to be done in an open way. And some scholars have said that this is also the day in which the Prophet received his first revelation of Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. So it's a fundamental day, and what we can say is that this day for the whole world and for humanity, it was a game changer, because now you have the Holy Prophet openly preaching the best, pristine message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala via the Holy Quran and via himself as being the best creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So tomorrow being the day of the 27th, it is an immense day of reward, sawab, blessings, barakat, rizq, and there are a few different things that are recommended to do. One is ghusl, another one is Ziyarat of Amirul Mu'mineen. It's amazing, isn't it, that it's the Bi'sat of Rasulullah, but the Ziyarat is of Amirul Mu'mineen. Where there is the Prophet, there is always Ali. We have to remember this. And fasting, tomorrow's fast. If you haven't had the tawfiq until now to keep a fast in this holy month of Rajab, please try your best if you can, if your health allows, if your medication allows, then keep a fast tomorrow. It is said that this is one of the 4 amazing days of the year where no mu'min should miss that day of fasting. One is Mab'as tomorrow, one is 15th of Sha'ban, one is day of Arafah, and one is of course the best day of the year, Yawm Ghadir. These are the 4 amazing days to keep a fast. Tomorrow's fast, it has been recorded that fasting tomorrow equals the sawab of fasting for 70 years. So tomorrow's fast, as much as possible, Azizani Girami, should not be missed. And of course, one of the best things to do tomorrow also is to recite lots of salawat ala Muhammad wa ale Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin Muhammad. Now, the Holy Quran in 61:9, Allah says, Huwalladhi, He is the one, arsala rasulahu bil huda, that he sent the Holy Prophet with guidance. The Prophet is a prophet of guidance. The book, the Quran, is a book of guidance. If anyone ever asks you, this Quran which you have, what is it all about? Yes, there are many things in the Quran, but fundamentally you say it is a book of guidance. The religion of Allah is a religion of guidance. Rasulullah is a prophet of guidance, guiding towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لِيُظْهِرَهُ عَلَى الدِّينِ كُلِّهِ. Now this is a very interesting part of the verse. He has sent his prophet with the guidance, with the message of truth or religion of truth, so that it may prevail over all religions. Now, I ask you a question. Has it happened? Has the religion of Allah prevailed over all religions? Is it what we would say the world is running according to Islam, true Islam, Tawheed of Allah, true Tawheed of Allah, which is found in Islam? No, it has not happened. This is one of the biggest proofs we can give to non-Shias, people who don't believe in the 12th Imam as we believe. Ask them, say this verse in the Quran, 61:9, if you're saying that there's no, for example, successors after the Prophet, then who will do this? There has to be a final successor of the Prophet whom we call Imam Zaman that will come and make this verse into a reality. لِيُظْهِرُهُ عَلَى الدِّينِ كُلِّهِ. When will this happen? When will this religion prevail over all religions? So there must be a final person, a final movement to establish our religion over humanity and over the world. Of course, we are talking about in a very peaceful, humanitarian way, as I've described many times in the past on this subject. So let's move now from the Holy Prophet's Bi'sat into our discussion, which I wanted to complete from yesterday, which is on the issue of meeting Imam Sahib al-Asri wa Zaman. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. As we said, there are 5 types of meeting Imam Zaman or seeing Imam Zaman. One is in a dream. Everyone agrees that that's possible. There's no contention. One is in a number 2 is in a vision. No contention. Everyone is agreed. Number 3 is seeing him whilst awake, but not recognizing him. There's no contention. Everyone is agreed. Now number 4. Number 4 is when you see him, you meet him. He is the Imam, but at that moment you don't realize. Somehow, almost, you are unable to explain why, but in that moment you are hit by a sense of confusion. You are hit by a sense of bewilderment that you don't get, even though there are indicators that this is the Imam. You don't fathom, your brain doesn't click that I'm in the presence of Imam Zaman. This we find in a number of places. I'm going to give you one instance. This is a narration. This is a narration which is found in Mafati. Mafati also references it, and also other books. And it is about someone called Haj Ali Baghdadi. Not very well known in our community, this name, but this is his story. Haj Ali Baghdadi was a very pious individual, very muttaqi individual, and he lived in Baghdad, hence the name Baghdadi. And one Thursday evening, it came that his khums was due. That was the date of his khums. So he says to himself, let me go to Najaf to meet Sheikh Murtaza Ansari myself. Now, back in those days, the Maraja were much more accessible. Today, because of many different reasons, including a lot of people going to visit the holy places, and of course their own safety, they are not so much accessible. But in those days, you could just go and sit with the Marja, do your khums calculation, and pay him there and then. So he says, let me go to Najaf to meet the great Sheikh Murtaza Ansari. And I do my khums calculation there. I discuss with him any questions I may have. Tiyanj hisab patavi naku. There I will do my hisab and I will give the haqq of khums. So he goes to Najaf. He meets with Sheikh Ansari. He does all of that. The khums is calculated. He pays the khums. And then he goes to Kadhmain. Kadhmain being a suburb now of Baghdad, but back then you could say it was separate. He goes to Kadhmain, does the ziyarat of Imam Musa Kadhim and Imam Muhammad Taqi alayhim as-salatu was-salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. And then he says, now let me go home. It was a Thursday evening. Jumerat. He says, now let me go back to my home. As he was returning home, he meets a luminous, illuminated, Nurani Sayyid. And this Sayyid, now look at all the indicators. Look at all the indicators. And this Sayyid meets him. He's never met him before. And the Sayyid says, Haji Ali, how are you? And he replied, I'm fine, alhamdulillah, how are you? And they exchanged those pleasantries. Then he says to him, Haji Ali, how about we go back to Kazmain and we spend the Thursday evening there so that I can bear witness that you are from amongst our Shias. Still it doesn't click. He says, okay, hello, let's go. Then he says, actually, what do you mean that you will bear witness? Because I don't know you, you don't know me. And then this man replies, how can I not know someone who gives our haqq to us? So Haji Ali says, haqq? What haqq? What do you mean? So he replies, the khums that you gave to our representative in Najaf. Still it's not clicking. Haji Ali Baghdadi says, well, I was surprised, but I didn't say anything. My brain wasn't making that connection. And then we began to go back to Kazmain. As we were walking on the side of the road, there were trees which were bearing fruit, and the fruit was not of that season. Out of season fruits. Still my mind was not clicking that something unique is going on. Now, I saw that this man is someone special. I saw that this man is someone with some kind of presence and aura. I asked him, I said, tell me, such and such person, and he names a person that he knows. He says, such and such person had gone for the ziyarat of Imam Riza in Mashhad. Was his ziyarat accepted? And the Sayyid replied, yes, inshallah, it was accepted. I asked about another person, a second person. Again, he said, yes, inshallah. I asked about a third person, and this time he remained silent. Then I asked him another question. I said, listen, the reciters on the mimbar, they say that Ziyaratul Hussein amanum minan nar. They say that the ziyarat of Imam Hussein protects a person from the fire of hell. Is this true or not? And I saw that his eyes became full of tears. And he replied, yes, that is correct. Still, it didn't click. We continued. We reached the haram of Kazmain. As we entered, he began to say salam one by one to all of the ma'sumeen. Assalamu alayki ya Rasulallah. Assalamu alayki ya Amir al-Mu'mineen. Assalamu alayki ya Fatimat al-Zahra. One by one, all of the ma'sumeen, he began to say salam to them until he reached the 12th Imam. And he turned to me and said, Haji Ali, do you know the Imam of your time? And I replied, yes, how would I not know the Imam of my time? So he said, in that case, give your salams to the Imam of your time. So I stated, Assalamu alayka, Ya Hujjatallah, Ya Sahib al-Zaman, Yabn al-Hasan. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. As I said these words, he replied, Wa alayka salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Still it didn't click. Then we proceeded further and we got busy in our namaz. During this time we were sitting, I was praying. At that moment something clicked in my mind. I said, hang on a second. Who is this person? He calls Sheikh Ansari his own wakil and representative. He called Homs his own haqq. He answered with certainty about the people who had gone for the ziyarat of Imam Riza. And more than anything, when I said salam to Hazrat Wali Asr, he replied himself. And then I came to my senses and I realized that I had been in the company of Imam Sahibul Asri wa Zaman. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. And what a great bounty and blessing I had been given. That for at least a couple of hours, you would say, I was in the presence of the 12th Imam. But when I turned he had gone. So you see, Azizan, even though there are these kinds of indicators, even though there are these kinds of contexts around the meeting with Imam Zaman, sometimes, yes, a person, even a very pious person, even a very noble person, even a scholar, we have scholars as well, but I won't give all of the stories today. Even the scholars as well have sometimes met him and only realized afterwards that this was Imam Zaman. There is something there, there's some kind of amazing awe and aura in the presence of the 12th Imam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to meet Imam Zaman and to see Imam Zaman. So now this category is also not contentious. People agree, yes, it's possible. You meet him, you're in his presence, but you don't realize, and you only realize afterwards. Now, the fifth category, this is the contentious one. This is where there is discussion amongst the scholars. And this category is meeting him whilst fully awake, knowing that you are meeting him, knowing that this person in front of me is the 12th Imam. Now, why is there contention here? It is because this situation can be very dangerous. People, they can open many shops. Dukan kholvi bo asan chit che. Unfortunately, sometimes people open shops in the name of religion. So it's very dangerous. Why? Kal saware, someone stands up and say, guys, I know Imam Zaman very well, don't worry. Anything you have, let me know. Or you want to pay khums? You can pay it to me, I'll give it to Imam Zaman. Oh, you want an issue? Tell me, I'll go and sort it out with Hazrat. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. The time of the 4 naibs has gone. The time of specific people being appointed as the physical link that they can go and see Imam whenever they want. That time has gone. There's no more ghaibat-e-sughra. There's no more specific people that only they can take you to Imam. It's not like that anymore. So therefore, in this fifth category, we have to be very careful. We have to be very, very careful. Now, there are many reasons why both sides have their arguments. Let me discuss those who say this fifth category is not possible. You cannot be in the presence of Imam Zaman, recognize him during Ghaibat-e-Kubra. This is not possible. Let me discuss their evidences. Actually, I'll only do one evidence because to do all of them will take time. We'll only do one evidence of why they say it is not possible. Okay? With the salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. This evidence is from one of the letters of Imam Zaman himself. Imam Zaman, in his letter to his final naib, the 4th naib in the time of Ghaibat-e-Sughra, he writes the following. His name was Ali ibn Muhammad Samuri. He writes to him the following. He says, Ya Ali ibn Muhammad as-Samuri, a'zam Allahu ajra ikhwanika feek. Imagine starting a letter like this. Imam Zaman starts his letter like this. O Muhammad ibn Ali Samuri, may your brothers in faith be rewarded for their grief over you. You are not going to live more than 6 days. In 6 days you will die. Imam Zaman tells his 4th naib. In 6 days you're going to die. Fajma amraka wala tusi ila ahadin. Gather your affairs. Sort out the things you need to sort out. Do not appoint anyone after you to be the next naib. You are the 4th and final. Do not appoint anyone after you to take your place. فَقَدْ وَقَعَتِ الْغَيْبَةُ التَّامَّةِ. Because now Ghaibat-e-Kubra has begun. فَلَا ظُهُورَ. Zuhur will not happen إِلَّا بَعْدَ إِذْنِ اللَّهِ, except on the order of Allah. وَذَلِكَ. And this will only happen when? بَعْدَ طُولِ الْأَمَدِ. After a long time, lengthy time. وَقَسْوَةِ الْقُلُوبِ. and after people's hearts have become very hard. وَامْتِلَاءِ الْأَرْضِ جَوْرًا, and only after the earth is full of injustice. This is the key point for our discussion tonight. وَسَيَأْتِ شِيعَةِ مَنْ يَدَّعِي الْمُشَاهَدَةِ. There will come a time on my Shias, a testing time, where people will claim to have seen me. Listen very carefully. People will claim to have seen me. Whoever claims such a thing before Sufyani, before the events of Sufyani, and before the voice is heard from the sky, you know the signs of Zuhur, these include Sufyani and the voice from the sky. Whoever claims to have seen me before these two events, فَهُوَ كَذَّابٌ, he is a liar and he has fabricated. Very strong words, very clear. So they say, based on this and other things which we're not going to discuss tonight, but based on this, it is not possible. If you claim, then we have to say you're a liar. Because Imam Zaman has said in this letter. Now, how do the other side answer? The other side who say it is possible is the prevailing view. Majority of our scholars, it is the prevailing view that it is possible to meet Imam Zaman during Ghaibat-e-Kubra, knowing full well that this is Imam Zaman. What do they say? They say, hold on a second. First of all, look at the context of the letter. Context is very important. The context is this. It is written to the last Naib. He is told not to appoint anyone after him. And what Imam has condemned in the letter is not meeting and seeing. It is claiming. Claiming. Meaning, so when you put all of these different indicators and evidences together, what this side says is that what it means is someone who comes and makes a big deal out of it, announces it to the world, beats the drum, tells people, makes big claims. This is not allowed. This kind of person should be condemned. This kind of person is the person who has done a lie. The claim, what claim are you making? Because now for someone to make a claim that I am the specific Naib of the 12th Imam, that time is over. There's no more specific Naibs. No one can claim this. No one can claim direct access to Imam Zaman anymore. So the conclusion they come to is that the one who makes these claims that I am somehow attached to Imam Zaman in a special way, that I am a Naib, that he boasts and tells people, for example, I can take your issues to the Imam, I can deliver your khums to the Imam. That person is a liar. It does not refer to someone who has simply met Imam without making any major claim. And this is why, as the brothers were asking yesterday, this is why many ulama do not reveal it to many people. They'll tell very few people. How many ulama must have met Imam Zaman and not told anyone? We don't know. We don't know. There must be hundreds, maybe thousands of meetings with Imam Zaman and people don't reveal it. And some ulama, they say that only reveal this after I die. I don't want to be suspected that I'm making some kind of claim. You see what I'm saying? So this is why the prevailing view is that yes, this fifth category is permissible, possible, and definitely it happens. Otherwise, Azizan, think, why do we have even some du'as which ask Allah, oh Allah, show me Imam Zaman? If it was not possible to meet him and see him, then we would not have had these du'as. For example, Allahumma arinit tal'atar rashida wal ghurratal hamida. This is one of the du'as. Oh Allah, show me Imam Zaman. Let me see Imam Zaman. So this is the issue about meeting Imam Zaman. It would be a great honor, the honor of our lives, if we were to see and meet him. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to meet Imam Zaman, see Imam Zaman, be in the company of Imam Zaman, support him when he comes. May He unite our community, give us strength, make us strong, complete our Project Orange. I call it Project Portugal because that is orange in Arabic and Farsi. May He give us tawfiq to complete our Project Orange, and that it is a new start in a way for our community. It will breathe new life into the community, that it will energize our community, that we become a vibrant, spiritual, muttaqi, pious community in the way of Imam Zaman. Tomorrow we have a very short lecture in which, if I can, I will mention a little bit about the network of Imam Zaman. That is also very interesting. It ties well with meeting Imam Zaman, because if you can't meet him, then how does he have a network, right? So that's another argument on the other side, that you're saying meeting is not possible, but then we know that he has a network of people around him. Inshallah, maybe tomorrow we'll shed some light on that. For the quick zuhur of Imam Zaman, let's have 3 loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allah.